Hi there, Mouseketeers. Welcome to the Disneyland Beat, where our toes tap to a Disneyland drum.
And we always whistle while we work.
Hollywoodland at DCA is an interesting place that has changed a lot.
And had so much change around it. Today we're going to explore the past and present of the land.
And try to see what might be coming to this mixed bag of a theme park land.
Come on into the parks with us.
Like, subscribe, and stick around.
Disneyland is your land.
Come seek an adventure at the old pirates, eh?
Make the jump to life.
Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm TC. Today's Hollywoodland opened as the Hollywood Pictures Backlot with Disney California Adventure in 2001. It was meant to be a studio-themed section, much more compact than the Universal Studios Backlot or even Hollywood Studios, but the idea was the same.
The main entrance to the land used to be a huge ornate gate in the spirit of classic Hollywood movie studios right off of Sunshine Plaza, which is now Carthay Circle and Buena Vista Street. Originally, the area's 1930s architecture to the Hollywood Backlot was quite a contrast to the painted pop art of Sunshine Plaza.
But today, the late 1920s building style of Buena Vista Street blends in perfectly with the main boulevard of Hollywoodland, Hollywood Boulevard, ending with the Hyperion Theater facade. In fact, it's really easy to miss where one ends and the other begins.
Hollywoodland currently has 10 attractions. 7 of them are theaters. 1 is an interactive exhibit, and only 2 of them are rides. And the red car trolley really is transportation between multiple lands.
There really are a lot of theaters and sound stages in the land. For one, there's the Disney Junior Stage, which features Disney Channel characters and provides a great show for younger children. But you may not realize that the space actually opened as the ABC soap opera Bistro, where your servers would act out melodramatic scenes during your meal. It only lasted a year.
Even if it gets an updated show like the one in Paris, we think this will continue to be a Disney Junior space and attraction moving forward.
There's the Sunset Showcase Theater, which currently houses Mickey's PhilharMagic, a fun 4D film experience, but it's not much more than a beer or seat ticket attraction to us. This theater sat empty for a long time, was only used for the occasional movie preview and a Frozen sing-along. But for years, it was the top-level attraction in the area, housing an excellent version of the Muppets 4D experience.
We think Disney will keep Mickey's PhilharMagic in this space for a while. It cost Disney quite a bit to make this Walt Disney World show into this space, and they seem really committed to the PhilharMagic format of adding frequent updates to the film, such as the recent Coco sequence.
The beautiful animation building houses 2 separate theaters. One has Turtle Talk with Crush in it, and the other the Animation Academy. Both of these shows have continued to be very popular for quite a while. Turtle Talk is the only show of its kind in the entire resort, and there always will be a place at Disneyland for animators teaching us how to draw our favorite characters.
However, the other 2 attractions in the animation building do seem like they might be slated for refurbishments or even replacements. The Anna and Elsa meet and greet might continue in this space, but we don't think so. With Frozen live at the Hyperion closed and unlikely to return, Frozen characters don't seem really like a great fit for this space or even the land. They might change the characters or reimagine the space entirely.
The Sorcerer's Workshop, an interactive exhibit based on animation history, as well as the Beast Library, an interactive exhibit based on Beauty and the Beast, seem oddly combined and placed. It even still contains some remnants of Ursula's Grotto, a long ago closed part of the exhibit. We really like them, both the Sorcerer's Workshop and the Beast Library, and we often spend a good bit of time there, but they do seem like they're ready for a refurbishment, if not a reimagining.
Of course, the headlining theater of the land is the Hyperion Theater. This massive space can handle fully staged Broadway-level productions, and it has yet to reopen after the pandemic. It has had 4 shows running in it since it opened in 2001. The most recent were really well-done versions of the Aladdin and Frozen stories.
It's fairly certain that this theater will reopen a show before the year is out, and we have 2 main guesses. One is an Avengers show of some kind, probably a stunt show. Though the theater is still in Hollywoodland, Avengers Campus is just next door, and it would make sense.
However, one of our viewers offered the idea that they may choose to put the new Finding Nemo musical Big Blue and Beyond, written by the Lopez's, the same team behind Frozen and many more Disney hits. This musical is good, and it would provide a nice Pixar tie-in for the land, something we'll discuss the need for a bit later.
Either way, we see the Hyperion opening its doors again before too long. We just think Disney wants to make sure it's a show that's going to run for a while.
It's also interesting to note that Hollywoodland is a bit smaller than it used to be. Before it was Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, it was DCA's version of the Hollywood Tower of Terror, the thrilling Twilight Zone-themed drop ride.
As the Tower of Terror, it was part of Hollywoodland, but Tony Stark redefined those borders and annexed the attraction for his new Avengers campus.
At the center of the court is the Hollywood Backlot stage, a wonderful open-air stage that has been used for a huge multitude of events. It provides a venue for high school and other local bands and acts to come perform, as well as being a perfect stage for many Disney special events.
So there's lots of theaters, but that does bring us to our major rideable attraction, Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue. It's really a wonderful dark ride. It's all ages, it hits all the notes of the original Monsters, Inc. film, but it's not a long ride. It's not much longer, nor more spectacular, really, than any of the Fantasyland Courtyard dark rides across the Esplanade.
It is a reskin of an opening day ride, Superstar Limo, which was not very popular at the time, but it did fit better within the theming of the land, being based in Hollywood itself.
Monsters, Inc. is stuck out in the land from the day it opened in 2006 as the only thing of its kind in this section of the park. Of course, it's just too bad that it can't be picked up and then placed down again at Pixar Pier. It would be just as popular.
As for the future, we think Monsters, Inc. will continue to run until the entire land gets an overhaul, but we don't think it has to be the only dark ride in the land.
There are two large sound stages in the backlot portion of Hollywoodland that have not seen much use over the years the park has been open. One is Stage 12, a currently unused building that opened as a major dining location, Hollywood and Dine.
Hollywood and Dime was well themed to 4 different classic 1930s California locations with a central cashier system. It was a quick service location meant to handle huge crowds. Unfortunately, DCA 1.0 had too many restaurants and not enough people to fill them, something that is not a problem at all today.
Over the years, the space has been used for private events, meet and greets, and as an arcade during Tronica and the Mad Tea Party, but mainly it is sat empty.
What could Disney do with this space? A dining location seems like the most obvious answer, but it certainly could house a smaller dark ride as well.
And across the plaza is Stage 17, the larger soundstage of the two, built to house Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Live, which ran from late 2001 through 2005. It was a live version of the famous television show in which guests got to participate and be contestants, though they didn't compete for money, just points. But it was still a lot of fun.
Disney rushed to build the attraction after the park opened to poor reviews, but the timing proved to be wrong. They thought they were dealing with a game show juggernaut such as Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, but popularity in the show waned pretty quickly, as did attendance levels at the park, so they closed it.
There have been a few minor uses for the massive Stage 17 over the years, but mainly it has just been used as a rental space for private events. We are sure this is profitable for Disney, but we think it's a shame. The space is certainly large enough to house a significant rideable attraction, and it would be amazing to see it used for that.
Stages 12 and 17 stand ready should Disney decide to expand this land. Both of them are basically empty shells ready for development. Wouldn't it be amazing if the backlot contained not 1, but 3 Pixar-themed dark rides? It would almost be the equivalent of the Fantasyland Courtyard. Quite magical.
There are a few dining locations in the land, and they're all counter service. Award Wieners, the hot dog joint, and Schmoozies, the smoothie stand, are very popular street dining locations. And the even smaller locations, Refreshment Corner and the Studio Catering Company Market, they're all fine.
But the land could really use a sit-down dining spot. Maybe the crowds have returned in enough numbers to try a quick service location like Hollywood and Dine again, or even offer another table service location as a companion to a new Hyperion theater show.
Either way, it does seem that there's certainly room for improvement as far as dining in the land is concerned.
Hollywoodland is really broken into 2 sections at the moment. Hollywood Boulevard, which really feels like part of Buena Vista Street to us, and the Backlot section.
Personally, we think the Hollywood Boulevard section is going to stay the same for a long time to come. It's the home of the tracks of the red car trolley and many beloved shows, shops, and dining spots. However, we do think that the Backlot section is a different story.
Some kind of expansion is meant for the future of this part of the land, but it's not clear yet what. For some time, it appeared that Avengers Campus might take over this whole area, but that doesn't seem to have panned out. It looks like when Avengers Campus expands, it will do so south into backstage space.
It is possible that the backlot could become more heavily Pixar-themed or themed to a specific Pixar IP. Maybe the Pixar backlot? Or how about a Zootopia section? We do think that in the immediate future, that expansion is going to come in the addition of a new show at the Hyperion, a new Pixar-themed dining experience at Stage 12, and maybe, just maybe, a new Pixar-themed dark ride in Stage 17.
What would you like to see come to these underused spaces in Hollywoodland at DCA?
Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe. We have lots more to come.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.
See you real soon.